Hey everyone, Nella here with Lee Shrang, Haitsu, and Finn. And this is actually a video that Pocket Wolf inspired me to do. She did a video talking about why she has more girl dolls than boy dolls, and she invited everyone to sound off in the comments about their own collection. Um, and my text response was getting way too crazy long, so I just decided to do a video. So, as you guys have probably realized from watching my videos, I have way more girl dolls than boy dolls. They are, if you count Haitsu, or conversely, if you count the girl who's coming, then the boys are numbered 4-1. And that was actually kind of planned, that ratio. Even when I first entered in the hobby, I'd have to pull up that old list, but when I first entered in the hobby, I think I had maybe 6 boy dolls I wanted. I had well over 40 girl dolls. Does this tell you the proportion? As for why I have way more girl dolls than boy dolls, okay, I like to say that I come up with characters and then I get dolls, but that's more what I'd like to say. That is not the reality. The reality is I see a doll, usually for a really good price on the marketplace, usually with some extras, and I take the plunge and get that doll. And what always happens, or at least what's happened for the past couple of years, is those dolls have been girls, with the exception of this guy. And it's just that I find the female sculpts in general more appealing. I tend to not like a lot of the male sculpts. Not for me personally. I like them aesthetically, I like them creatively, but I know that it wouldn't work for myself. I think it's because a lot of the more rugged, I was about to say butch there, more rugged sculpts, the ones that aren't, ones that would make really good girls, a lot of those ones look angry, and I like how angry dolls look. I just know that it would be ridiculous for me to have one. I don't know, I'd make it like angry at like cookies and stuff. Which sounds like fun, but it would probably get a bit boring fast for me. And then second thing, still following with the I like girl sculpts more than boys, a lot of the time when I look at the boy sculpts, if they aren't, like super chiseled jaw or something, I go, that would make a nice girl. And then I end up thinking of what they'd look like on a girl body, and I just completely ignore the fact that they are on a boy body and designed to be men. Or boys. But to go back to the ice, I would like to just be developing characters and then shelling them, rather than getting a doll that I think is pretty, like this girl, and then creating a character. But I find making female characters way easier. And it's not like I didn't grow up without guy friends. Most of my friends were guys growing up. Actually, even through to high school, most of my friends were guys. Or girls who still act like teenage boys. They exist. They exist, and it can be hilarious when you're playing Little Big Planet. Or watching them play Call of Duty. Anyway, so it wasn't like I didn't have exposures to guys that would be able to inform my creating characters. I just always found the girl characters came easier. And a wide variety of characters. I mean, all of my characters, at least I feel, have very different personalities and motivations. In contrast to my guy characters, particularly my guy characters that I want to shell, kind of have set types. By which I mean they feel more like an outline that I've taken and then shaded in and add my own colors to, rather than my girl characters, which feel more organic, I guess would be the way to describe it. Which isn't to say that I don't like my guy characters. The few that I have, I like, and I like writing about them. But they're not the main characters. Funny enough, I actually have one of the stories I was really proud of that I wrote in grade 4, where I have two main characters, a male and a female. And reading that through, when I read that through a few years ago, I realized I could just switch the name of the guy character and it wouldn't change anything. So that's actually what happens with my guy characters sometimes. Particularly when I was younger, I would write characters that, honestly, if I just switched the name or a couple of descriptions, it would look just as fine as a girl. Yeah. I've gotten better about that. My guys are a lot more fleshed out than they used to be, but I still find it more difficult to create male characters that don't kind of fall under archetypes. However, being said that I prefer female dolls, looking at these two, I'm going to say Pocket Wolf. I know there's a lot of things that can go wrong with guy dolls when you sculpt them, particularly proportion-wise. But I tend to like stylized dolls. I think you can see a theme here. Stylized dolls are kind of my thing, versus realistic. So I'm used to the proportions being strange. But I find that, yeah, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with the guys. I find there's even more things that can go wrong with the girls. Particularly when it comes to certain physical characteristics. Thankfully, Li Shuang does not have this problem, but I actually have two girls that really illustrate how sculpting the female body can go horribly wrong, or hilariously wrong. Both in a very stylized way, I should say. And those two would be my Bobobi Pixie Nagisa, aka the former Drew, on the Bobobi mature 3-part body. And I have to say, I think they did the right thing when they made the immature version of the body, because that to me looks like what they were going for all along. The mature version, which came out first, what it looks like to me is like they'd done maybe an immature body, or they'd just done a very basic body and went, this is a girl. We need something so that people know that this is a girl, other than the fact that there is no penis. And then they just took like lumps of clay and just slapped them on the chest and went, oh, there you go, that's done. Like, they are complete mounds. They don't look natural from any angle. They just look like protrusions. It's really weird. And it's one of the first things I'm going to fix once I have sanding paper and some time. Nagisa will get a breast reduction. But I also find that a lot of doll companies, especially now, when I was first in the hobby and very early on when I was in the hobby, this was nowhere near as big a problem. they do their breasts completely out of proportion. I mean, I know that, of course, the female dolls are supposed to be wearing bras, because if you made it hang naturally, it would look weird under the clothing. That doesn't mean it should look like she has a boob job. Which, actually, I say that because that is what my parents, both my mother and my father, but mostly my mother, said when they saw Drew's Miro doll body. They went, "Oh, she got a boob job." Now, what? No. I went, "Oh, it's a superhero aesthetic, so it's the really big breasts and the muscles." And my mom went, "Sweetie, those look fake." And I kind of looked at them closer, and I have to agree with her. They really do. They're really round. They're completely out of proportion with the rest of her. Like, completely out of proportion. They stick out like crazy, but they also look kind of compressed, and the cleavage is huge, and it just looks really fake. So, I like girl dolls, but there are a lot of things that can go really wrong. And I know, I think that whenever you're trying to make a human, like sculpt a human, things can go really wrong. Either proportion-wise, or feature-wise, or uncanny valley. And I really should have said this at the beginning, but I guess I'll say it at the end. Please do not be offended by anything I say in this video, and anything I have said in this video. These are just my personal preferences, and I really do not know how talking about the fact that I have more girl dolls than boy dolls devolved into me ranting about sculpting. I've got nothing. Bye. Okay, I am back to just show you what I mean by the boob job boobs. Because don't get me wrong, I do like the Miro doll body. I find there are some engineering problems that hopefully some sanding will fix. But I do like that she's small and that she's muscular. But I hate her breasts with a fiery passion. Once again, something I am going to fix with some sanding paper. Okay, so, front view. Okay, you can already see the problem. Look at the size of those. Look at how out of proportion that is to everything else. Second thing, look at the side shape. Once again, look at how out of proportion that is compared to everything else. And just how they're held up, and the roundness, and this is what I mean by the cleavage of doom. Wait, my light's really bad. There you go. You can see it now, right? Even from the bottom, there's kind of something really wrong with this. So, yeah, I kind of predict that, a lot of my female dolls, well, first off, this body, the Bobby body, apparently I added another B in that, and probably other female dolls that I will get in the future will be getting some, rather a lot of sanding in this area. Okay. Now this is the actual end. Bye.